Picture this, a world of magic and kings, of prophecies and steel, a world where a single solitary moment can completely shatter everything you thought was true.
I mean, just think about that. An impossible victory. A giant, a literal creature of myth and terror, isn't slain by an army, but by a shepherd boy with a single, perfectly aimed stone. The laws of nature, of war, they've just been completely rewritten.
So how does that even happen? It's a question that defies logic, it defies reason, and for one horrified onlooker, it defies all magic.
Yeah, that onlooker is Merlin, a man who has mastered the arcane arts, a man who literally bends reality to his will. But in this one moment, his entire lifetime of knowledge is useless. He is watching a miracle that makes a complete mockery of his power.
You have to understand, everything Merlin has ever known about power, spells, incantations, his own immense strength, it's all just been rendered totally meaningless. This shepherd boy with nothing but a rock, and something called faith, has just done what entire armies couldn't.
So, what do you do? What do you do when the one thing you've built your entire life on is suddenly proven worthless? For Merlin, this isn't just some surprising twist. It's a full-blown crisis. If his magic isn't the ultimate power, then what is? And what in the world does that mean for him?
And you know, this whole scene, it brings back a pretty painful memory for him. A very, very familiar failure from his past.
He's thinking back to the Sword in the Stone, a test of destiny, right? The moment that was supposed to crown a king. And even with all of Merlin's magic on his side, the Chosen One failed.
But now, get this. The paradox here is just staggering. The boy who didn't even need a sword to win the battle now lifts the giant's impossible blade with ease. He's succeeding where a prophesied king, backed by all of Merlin's power, had failed.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is true strength what you hold in your hands, or is it what you hold in your heart?
But here's the thing. A miraculous victory out on the battlefield, well, that doesn't always get you a celebration. In the paranoid world of kings and courts, an act of faith can look an awful lot like an act of war.
And just like that, the danger isn't a giant with a spear anymore, it's a paranoid king in a closed tent. And Merlin, he's walking right into it.
The king's suspicion immediately lands on the one thing he can't understand: magic. And Merlin, a magician who has just had his own belief in magic shattered, becomes the perfect target for that fear.
And the situation just explodes in an instant. This isn't some rational inquiry, it's a volatile mess of paranoia and rage. In the king's eyes, Merlin is no longer a potential ally, he's an enemy sorcerer.
And that's it. The command is given. There's no trial, no defense, it's over. But then, in that split second before the end, a voice cuts through the rage. A plan is offered. Not out of mercy, mind you, but as part of a cold, calculated, and very dangerous bargain.
It's the prince. He saves Merlin's life, but at a terrifying cost. He isn't offering safety, he's offering surveillance. Merlin has basically been traded from one cage to another with the exact same death sentence hanging over his head.
And so, you get the ultimate irony. The world's most powerful magician, stripped of his magic, is reduced to being a shield-bearer. His life now hangs completely on the whim of a suspicious prince.
So this is where we leave him, powerless, friendless, and stuck between a paranoid king and the enemy's spears. His greatest challenge isn't a giant on a battlefield anymore. It's the treacherous maze of the human heart. And the only way to find out what happens next is to see for yourself.